Alrighty. Oh, where am I? Oh, damn it. Here I am. I don't know why OBS wasn't, responding or whatnot, but I'm here. I'm here, everyone. Let me just post the links to the stream. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alrighty. So here's what I have in mind for today. I'm gonna keep the introduction a bit short on my side. That way we could kind of get right into the meat and potatoes of everything. So, and I'm also gonna provide a little bit of context. So, basically, on Tuesday, Blizzard officially announced the Midnight expansion, and this is something I've been looking forward to for actually a while. I didn't think I'd be as invested back into WoW as I thought I'd be, but it's not going to change, the channel direction ain't going to change to be a WoW channel again. I very much am a fan of what I'm doing currently, but, it's a special episode for a very special occasion, and I finally get to broadcast it with you guys. So, what I have in mind for today, we're going to be watching the main cinematic. That way I could also get some further thoughts on that. We're also going to look at the gameplay reveal trailer, so you guys can understand just the general overview of the expansion. And then we also have a bit of a deep dive, though not of the official deep dive panel from Blizzard. I'm not sure if that's on YouTube yet. I'm poor planning on my half, I guess. But we do have around a 13-minute short panel all about Midnight. So it's going to be interesting to watch and see what the devs have to say. Then we also have gameplay of player housing. So that's a feature that I mentioned a few months back would draw me back into the game. And wouldn't you know, it's it looks so fucking good. And we're going to watch a lot of gameplay of it. Let's see. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Discord's being a little funky. Has been ever since. Nah, never mind. So I am just going to... Enough of me talking. Let's get this bitch started, shall we? Oh, I don't have the video set up. Okay, so here we have the Midnight cinematic trailer. Sorry, I forgot to do this earlier. I'm rushing a little bit. And so let's give it a watch.
The light guides my steps and illuminates my path. The light flows through me, and by its grace am I made one with all that is sacred. The light guides my steps and illuminates my path. The light flows through me, and by its grace am I made one with all that is sacred. The light
Liadrin, it has begun. I need you with me on the wall.
I've seen this before, but I want to watch it with you guys. This is
the void
one of my
will envelop
favorite
us soon.
cinematics that Blizzard
Only the
has
light
made.
can save us now.
No. The
Even
time
with
for
some of its
prayer
flaws.
has passed.
The sunwell will not fall. Not while I draw breath.
Blizzard Entertainment presents...
Little elves. I can see you grow weary.
That's the thing I'm not a fan of, is why'd they give Xal'atath a man jaw? Why'd they give her a man jaw? She had a model, like a CG model prior that didn't have the man jaw. Why didn't they use that?
How much longer can you hold out? Flee and save yourselves.
Liadrin, don't.
Light be with you. You see?
And Liadrin flees like a
She
bitch.
understands it's hopeless. Soon, you all will.
The light guides my steps and illuminates my path. The light flows through me, and by its grace am I made one with all that is sacred. The light guides my steps and illuminates my path. The light flows through... I know that I am unworthy. I don't know.
One thing I don't get is the like to dislike ratio. I mean, I know it's been kind of standard like this ever since Battle for Azeroth, that there's, you know, a lot of dislikes on these cinematic trailers. But, I mean, this does tell somewhat of a complete story to get us, into the premise of
If
Midnight.
I deserve your help...
Dusty, why do they make the elves look hideous in these animations? I mean, that's kind of the thing with just the Blizzard cinematics in general. Like, at least with these, they're a bit more, they're supposed to be realistic if you were to actually meet, like, these characters in real life. But, what I don't get is they gave Xal'atath a man jaw when she didn't have one prior. That's
But
my
I
main
know
issue.
my people do. Please give them strength.
I admire your spirit, but that will not save you. Soon, I will break your...
Well, Dusty, it's a tradition, ever since, like, Warcraft 3 had a lot of these, too. Like, it's not just modern WoW that does this. Blizzard's been making these kinds of cinematics since, like, Warcraft 3. AC, you know what gives her strength? Dat D! I don't think Liadrin is with anybody. Certainly not Lorthamar. He's already married.
World.
You can't even break one elf.
Oh no!
This darkness comes to devour everything.
Wait, it's not like Blizzard also doesn't do the more, like, in-game cutscenes or whatnot. There's plenty. I like those too. Women always have that someone that gives them 5. Single women are never single. That's a good one, AC. That's a good one.
And when it is finished, there will be no more light.
Yeah, the Wrathgate being one of them, but I was thinking more of like the the stabbing of Azeroth. I had a chick recently who told me we are just friends while I was piping her down. So I told her, yeah, we're just friends, and she smiled. Yeah, the Wrath of the Lich King cinematic is a damn good one.
Without your aid, we will perish. I beg you, help us.
But damn, AC, I see how you are. That's something I know people are theorizing right now about this. It's like, who is the army that is behind there? I'm thinking it's the Army of the Light, as what Chris Metzen told us back in 2023. But some people are theorizing it's the Arathi Empire. I'm thinking it's the former. Army of Ghost Chad, Deathlight Chad.
The Sunwell will not fall!
Not while we draw breath.
I was honestly kind of worried that Blizzard would be killing Lorthamar off. I'm glad that they didn't. I'm glad they made the right decision in terms of the story.
Yeah!
logo, everyone. That's the thing. Who would... I mean, I know there's also Haldren Brightwing and Grand Magister Romith, but it's like the Blood Elves do need an actual leader, and Lorthamar is best for the position. I'm glad they didn't kill him off. Let's see. So basically, the whole premise of Midnight is that after you know what happened on the planet of K'aresh, Xal'atath is like, oh, I'm going to Azeroth and I'm gonna take the world soul via the Sunwell, and you know that's how that whole thing starts. There's a few bits in the story that have yet to be revealed before this moment, but we all know that this moment happens after that. So there's that. So now that we got the, and I'm also a big fan of the name of the cinematic intercession. Yeah, gee, I wonder why. It couldn't be that Scurvy's Orthodox. But anyways, let's get into the gameplay trailer, shall we? So now you guys get to see what what the game will actually look like. So we have some Nightborn here and some Void Elves there. So already let's go. Start.
The light flickers, and in its trembling glow, you still cling to hope.
So keep in mind, this is the Alliance neighborhood for player housing, and it looks really good.
How quaint.
Ooh, void glass.
The shadow is closing in. It hungers to devour everything.
Zulaman was a former raid and dungeon instance. Now it's being turned into a whole ass zone, which looks awesome.
Our home, our kin, our hope. We cannot succumb to fear. We must not falter. There will be no victory without suffering.
Bat elf troll people, that's what the Hadanir are. And yes, they can be druids. Honestly, they revealed some more customization for these guys today, and I gotta say, they knocked it out of the park. I wasn't initially a fan of the Hadanir in their introduction in the War Within, but I think they're gonna get some additional fleshing out that they kind of need.
Survival without sacrifice. You feel it, don't you?
And this is something I'm also really looking forward to seeing in action on Saturday. Is the new Demon Hunter spec? It's like from what I've heard, it's like a mid-range, like kind of mid-range Demon Hunter. Like you have some melee attacks, and then you have a lot of ranged attacks. It took them how long to rebuild Silver Moon? Not gonna lie, I was also kind of hoping that they'd rebuild the Exodar as well. But that might be... I'm hoping that's in a patch. Because if the Blood Elves are getting their zone reimagined, why not have the Draenei also get their zone reimagined as well? And have it be properly connected in the world? I think that's something else... too, that Blizzard... that's just a theory of mine that Blizzard's gonna do, is actually implement Quel'Thalas into the world. Not just have it be its own instance.
The call of the void, that devouring host, with no mercy, no equal. Come, little lights, and be extinguished. The darkest night falls upon us, but...
Oh, that looks like, I think that's the new Delve Nemesis, because Blizzard also revealed, the new Delve companion for the expansion. But also, I think this Void guy right here is the Nemesis for Delve. So I'm happy they're actually implementing the Delve Nemesis into the story proper, which is really cool. I'm a delver myself primarily, so that's a nice touch.
But if we stand together, the dawn will come. I call upon you now, champions of the light, defenders of Azeroth. Summon your strength, steel your hearts, because today, we...
Draenei and Blood Elves got shit on nonstop. I mean, it's not... Legion was kind of a Draenei expansion. I mean, after all, Kill Jaden dies, and also, like, you stop the Burning Legion, which hunted them down. But yeah, Blood Elves, I could agree, they definitely got shat on. But I remember people back in Legion complaining about the Draenei favoritism.
Fight!
Or just the Alliance favoritism in that expansion in general. No release date yet. I don't think they're gonna announce it. But I think it might have been leaked to be around like January or February of next year, which is really damn soon. I mean, I just started sinking my teeth into to Mythic Plus again. So it's just like, and knowing how fast time flies, especially for me as of late, it's just like, oh, February and, January and February, that's going to be much sooner than expected. But now that we know the general kind of gameplay, feature overview, which I also love these two, they're really good. We have a sort of a game overview from, the WoW devs themselves. IGN posted this earlier. Then afterwards, we have quite the showcase of player housing. And then also, I'm gonna just to take a bit of an intermission to see if the full panel is actually somewhere.
You just saw the world premiere trailer for Freestyle Football 2 here on Xbox. As I talk to you a bit about the exciting updates in store for players. Now, first of all, right, Paul, welcome to the show for the first time.
Thank you for having us. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and Ian, welcome back as well. Like, you were here last year revealing the World Soul Saga with the War Within. Welcome back.
Time for Chapter 2. It's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah, I can't believe I've seen your booth. I'm going to say it. I think you've probably got one of the best booths at Gamescom. I was walking around earlier.
I have seen pictures of the booth. It does look really nice. There's also a player housing. Demo as well. I think that's the main thing that they're promoting is player housing. It is a truly defining feature. Okay, just had to move my monitor a little.
Like blown away by it.
I'm biased, but you're not wrong.
Yeah,
it's super cool. Yeah,
it's really, really cool, especially some of the updates, which we're going to be talking throughout this segment about. But you kicked things off last night with Opening Night Live.
And then we also see the key art right here, which looks really nice. You have Xal'atath right here, Lor'themar right there. I'm just glad they're giving Lor'themar some proper screen time.
And that cinematic. Could you kind of explain for people that need to know about what that kind of showed, what's happened up to that moment?
Sure. I guess a little bit of a story so far for the World Soul Saga. The gist of the story of War Within. So heroes around Azeroth began hearing these voices, seeing visions, these dark omens, from messages from the World Soul herself about darkness coming. That led to a surprise attack on the city of Dalaran.
Kind of late, but Wrath can get it.
The destruction of our beloved city of Dalaran, and the nature of the threat facing us being revealed. This powerful entity known as Xal'atath. So over the course of the World Soul Saga, over the course of the War Within, we've been trying to kind of keep up with her. She's been one step ahead of us.
Not gonna lie, I felt like they kind of oversold Xal'atath a bit in terms of power. It's like, literally 2 expansions ago, we fought against one of the most powerful beings in all of Warcraft history. The Jailer. Say what you want about him. I do think he's a cool guy. The Jailer, great guy. But anyways, but it's like for Xal'atath to be on par with the Jailer. It's like that doesn't make any sense. At any moment, I could have killed her. And I think I know, and Blizzard did kind of tease the idea of you could just kill her, Illyria could just kill her on K'aresh. The jailer was more fearsome because he was the Grim Reaper, basically, and he wanted death to be on top. Xal'atath, she just doesn't really strike fear into me, so to speak. Like, she's powerful and she's a manipulator, but it's just like, I'm no doubt she's a lot more powerful because she absorbed Dimensius, the final boss of the War Within. I guess that's how they're justifying her power. I mean, makes sense. At least now, but back in War Within, it's like we had several opportunities to kill her. Along the way. At the culmination of the War Within, you could walk up to Xal'atath and put a revolver in her face and turn her off. Yeah, she is a crafty one, but lore-wise, my Death Knight could kick her ass. And as we just discovered, she kind of ascended to a new tier of power and is finally poised to really unleash the power of the Void upon Azeroth.
Yep, and that leads us directly into what we saw in the trailer yesterday, which is Xal'atath and her devouring host at the gates of the Sunwell, ready to threaten everything that's dear to us, and our beloved elves, Lorthamar, Liadrin, and the rest of them all mounting a defense, along with an intercession from the Sunwell itself. Super exciting stuff. That is the beginning of the expansion, which you saw in the trailer there, and that leads directly into the story.
Yeah, I still can't get over last year with the War Within, with the VR experience for the destruction of Dalaran. But, that was one of my favorite cities in the old expansions. But we're also returning to some areas that players are going to really know. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, if Dalaran was one of your favorite cities, it was one of mine too. Wait till you see Silvermoon V2 in Midnight. So we are going to be returning to, among other areas, the old Blood Elven lands, first introduced in Burning Crusade, fully reimagined and expanded now. It's Eversong Woods, the Ghostlands, and of course Silvermoon City. Still, a Horde city at heart with some Horde-only districts, but under these pressing circumstances.
I was honestly not that thrilled about the destruction of Dalaran. Fun scenario, but I mean, they try. I'm glad they didn't kill off Khadgar permanently. But still. I was just like, oh no. Oh no.
They have opened their gates to the Alliance to mount this final stand against Xal'atath's forces.
Yep, and that's just the first of the zones that we have. After that, you'll head into Zulaman, City of the Trolls, the Amani Trolls. We first saw Zulaman back in Burning Crusade era as in the form of a raid, but it's been expanded into this enormous zone now. Everything in that zone is big. It's sort of like a primordial Pacific Northwest. Everything's a little wet too. Very, very cool space. We also have Herondar, home of the Heronir. This is, the Heronir we met during the War Within. They're a race who were sort of this enigmatic, elf-like race. We don't know a whole lot about them. We're going to learn a lot more once we go to Herondar and learn that not all of them are as welcoming as the few we've met, Orwena and her crew in the War Within. And lastly, we're going to go into the Voidstorm. This is...
Honestly, I think out of all the zones, I think Herondar is the most interesting to me. Because where is it? It doesn't seem like it's in the Eastern Kingdoms from what from the description that Blizzard gave us. I don't think it's gonna be in the Eastern Kingdoms like Zolaman or Quel'Thalas. And the Voidstorm zone, that's definitely not gonna be in the Eastern Kingdoms. Lamau, he's spiritually crippled. Yeah. I was not a fan of how Khadgar was treated in War Within.
Basically, Xal'atath's base of operations, where she is mounting her attack against Azeroth. We find our way into the Voidstorm and take the fight to her and the Devouring Host. Super exciting, a bunch of beautiful zones.
Yeah, I can't actually wait for Zulaman again. I still have memories of just the endless attempts of trying to get the Amani Warbear with that speed trial. So it's going to be really fun to go back. And of course, go to Silvermoon as an Alliance player. It'll be fun. But with all these new areas, what are some of the activities that people are going to get into?
Yeah, that is going to be interesting, being in Silvermoon as an Alliance player. Never thought that would happen, and I wouldn't be immediately killed by guards and better players at PvP.
Too, when they go there.
Well, the first, I think, is you're going to have the campaign, a new campaign that takes you through these zones, and it does so in an interesting way. You'll start by going into the city of Silvermoon and then into Eversong Woods, but after that, players are presented with a choice. Do they want to go to those two of those other zones I mentioned, go straight to Zulaman and learn a little bit more about the Amani trolls, what's going on
Look at that, boys. Look at that.
there?
The art, as always, the art team does a really fantastic job.
Do they want to go into Herondar and learn about the Heronir, or do they want to go on a third chapter of the campaign, which is actually a little bit different? It is not tied to any particular zone, but it takes you to some of the older places in the world, places like Light's Hope Chapel, places like Strathholm, a couple other interesting places as well.
This also interests me as well, like where they're actually using some of the old world in the leveling campaign. I think this is like truly a first. Like, I'm not just saying like, oh, using a location in the max level campaign. We're talking the leveling campaign here, so it's about. We're gonna let it finish, and then I'll talk more about it.
And in that quest line, you'll be working alongside Eretor, son of Turalian and Ilaria, and helping him sort of interrogate his relationship with the light. Really interesting chapter.
Yeah, Eretor is a huge player in this. I knew from the moment I saw the book cover of the tie-in prequel novel that Eretor was gonna be very important because they gave him a new design. And typically, when characters get a new design, it means they're going to be playing a role in the story.
If you complete those 3 chapters, those 2 zones in the Eretor chapter, then you move into Voidstorm. This is all like, in the interest of giving players a choice.
Oh, and that's interesting. I didn't catch that part before. So it seems like you do the Eretor stuff. Like it seems like the Eretor stuff is basically like the 5th zone, so to speak, but it's not really the 5th zone.
Of which which storyline is most interesting to them, and it's all done in a way which also leads you through a couple different delves. You'll play through a couple delves as part of the campaign, and a couple dungeons as well.
The old and the new,
culminating with the campaign leading you directly into a couple of our raids. And those are some really interesting dungeons and raids we have put together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as of course, alongside the zones, full complement of our bread and butter features for.
Oh yeah, they're really kind of shaking up the formula this time around. There's going to be 3 raids at the first patch of at the expansion launch, so to speak. There's one with 6 bosses, another one with just a singular boss, and then the final raid has 2 bosses. And then it's going to be the normal patch stuff. So that's going to be that is honestly really interesting, and it makes me think that we probably are going to be getting, and this is just my hunch, just a little theory I have, that the Azure Mist Isle is going to be a patch.
Group gameplay, delves, dungeons, and you'll note that Paul said raids, plural. So I think we were kind of breaking from recent tradition in Midnight, and our initial season is going to have not 1, not 2, but 3 separate raid zones for a variety of environments, a variety of foes that will kind of unfold themselves over the course of season 1.
I actually love that, because like back in like Karazhan and stuff like that, where you'd go to like Gruul's Lair, it's nice to have that variety hopping in. But
damn, aesthetics-wise, I think Zulaman has to be my favorite, because I've just been like, wow, they really changed like such a small raid instance to be this pretty massive zone.
For players that are hopping in for the first time, right, because I think the World Soul Saga has been great at bringing in new players and also returning players. What kind of features have you got for them to hop back in?
Yes, so I think we want to make sure that, whether you've played War Within and you're ready for the next chapter, or whether you're coming to World of Warcraft for the very first time or coming back from some long time away, that you can jump back in, understand what's going on, and join the action. And so we have a revamped and reimagined new player and returning player experience.
Yeah, Exile's Reach, that was added back in Shadowlands. Pretty good, but I'm glad that it's going to be getting some more love.
The leveling experience seamlessly incorporates both Dragonflight and War Within content to get you fully caught up to speed. For returning players who may be, a higher level but not quite ready to go straight to Midnight, we have a new experience set in Arathi Highlands that's going to kind of get you back up to speed on your mechanics, recontextualize you in the story of the world, and send you on your way so that you can join the fight in Midnight.
Yep, we've also added a catch-up quest line for the War Within. So sort of going into midnight if you never played the War Within, or if it's just been a little while and you want a refresher, you can play through all the major beats of that story in one quest line. It should not take the couple dozen hours that it would normally take to play through all 6 zones that make up that quest line, but it'll be a couple quick hours to go through all the big cinematics, all the major beats. By the time you're done, you should know everything that happened from the beginning of the Isle of Dorn to the end of Ghosts of K'aresh, and be fully up to speed to hop right into midnight.
Yeah, no, that's
nice. I wish they did that with some of the other expansions too.
That's amazing as well, because it's a bit more like welcoming as well to kind of like drag one of your friends to hop in and play with. It's a bit more
like Lorthamar talking to a
like
human.
welcoming as well to kind of like drag one of your friends to hop in and play with you and explore that, which I'm excited about. But there is one feature, and it kind of goes back to your booth as well, right? That has been requested for so long, and we've got to touch on it. I was watching it as well. You created Clash earlier. Player housing. Can you let us know what we're going to experience with that?
Look, alrighty, boys, let's hear them.
Absolutely, yeah. We are super excited for people to start stepping into housing. Housing has been a feature which has been in development internally for a long time. We've been sharing little details as we've been developing it over the last year or so.
How long?
Here at Gamescom, people are finally able to hop in and start, playing with the decor, playing with those systems for the first time. What housing is you can have your own little corner of Azeroth. If you play both Horde and Alliance, you can have a Horde home and an Alliance home and start decorating those spaces with decor that you'll start with a generous, creative decor that the system sort of just gives you, but then you go explore the world. You might find vendors who sell some interesting tchotchkes here and there. You might work with other crafters on your server who can make some interesting furniture for you. But you take all those things, you collect them, and then express yourself.
Yeah, they even have a if for those who have the BattleNet launcher, if you have you could actually go to the World of Warcraft tab and go to, there's like a virtual housing tour, and I've been just exploring the hell out of that.
In a way that we think is, really just lets players express themselves however they want.
Yeah, really, I think boundless self-expression is really, it's like a hallmark design pillar of the feature. We kind of threw out the entire rule book here, including gravity. If you want a table that floats in midair, you want a table that's upside down, you can do it. I think we really wanted to unleash players' creativity to make their houses the full expression of their personality. And it's not just, a single house that is your
Mecha gnomes in the Horde
area.
area.
You're also going to be part of a neighborhood community. So you wanted to make sure when designing this feature that it didn't feel solitary if you didn't want it to be. That you were kind of connected. There's reasons for others to come into your home, for you to go into theirs, and for you to feel like part of it.
Oh, baby, that's a nice view.
No, it's amazing. Also, for people that have been playing for a long time, so it's one of the first things I wanted to know when I heard about player housing.
So you can make a house as schizophrenically and unstable as possible. Yes, you can, Dusty. You could have a really small exterior and have a massive fucking interior.
Come in. Been playing since the Burning Crusade. Am I going to have some extra cool bits to add into my house for that?
You should, yeah. If you've been playing for decades, as it sounds like you have, then yeah, there's plenty of achievements that you would automatically have completed that would grant you decor. If you've advanced your professions, you may have access to build some of those things that would take other people, a little bit more time to get those professions to the point where they can.
I'm wondering, I think the expansion, easily the expansion that I played the most was Shadowlands. So I'd better be getting a lot of furniture from, themed from that expansion that I'm going to put into my house.
Build that particular piece of decor. So yeah, we want to make sure that people who've been playing for a while are rewarded for that play. Of course, this also comes along with that we don't want to have any of that be exclusive. So if you are just coming into World of Warcraft for the first time in Midnight, none of those should be.
Yeah, that's some decor from the pre-order bonus, which I probably will be getting that by the time I start getting some money.
Yeah, opportunities that were only accessible to you in 2008 and they're gone. Anybody can go back and get that stuff whenever you like.
Yeah, I can already tell, Sam from our team will be hanging a warglaive up above his door, without a doubt. But one of the big things as well, right? People aren't going to have to wait for the launch at midnight to get their hands on player housing, are they?
No, they are not. Player housing will actually be coming before midnight in our final War Within patch, 11.2.7, coming later this year. So.
And I'm gonna be enjoying the shit out of player housing. I might even stream it. Who knows? I might even stream it.
Anyone who owns Midnight at that point can claim their first house, begin decorating it, and all players, even if you don't yet own Midnight, can start building their collection of decor, though you will need the expansion to actually have a house to put it in.
Ah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'm excited for it, but what's next for the team? Now, you've kind of announced Midnight, shown the cinematic trailer. What's next?
I mean, excited to get back and kind of finish this game. We're going to be talking very soon about our first public alpha tests, and then a larger beta to follow. And all.
Yeah, I did notice that you could pre-order, if you pre-order Midnight, I think, the Epic Edition? So that's like the most expensive one. You get to be a beta tester, which kind of a first in, maybe War Within was the first. Either one. It's like, it's still pretty, it is still pretty recent. And it's honestly really cool that they're letting people actually play test all the changes that are coming to the game.
This, getting player feedback, helping polish the game, and building towards a release in early 2026.
Yep, and we're going to be here at Gamescom all week as well. Ian and Maria Hamilton will be talking tomorrow about some of the characters and zones within the expansion in a little bit more detail. And then later on in the week, Ian and I will do a big systems download where we talk about a lot of the systems that make up the game.
Yeah, I was going to ask about what else can players get involved, viewers get involved in with World of Warcraft, because you've got so much going on. We mentioned the Creator Clash earlier. Are there more shows out today? The streams people can go watch as well afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. There's, I think, various live events going on from our stage all week, and then we're going to keep rolling information out. I think this yesterday was the beginning of just letting people know what we've been up to, and we're going to have more and more information and opportunities to engage. We'll have
Alrighty, I think we get the point of the developer interview. I'm just gonna take a short little break. I'll be back in probably like a minute. So I'm just gonna see if they actually have the Midnight deep dive. If they have the full panel. Midnight deep dive. That's interesting. I also saw something about Ninja Gaiden 4. That game also looks insane. No, I don't think they have the video. I don't think they have the video version. Yeah, they don't have the video version of the panel yet. Everything seems to be a day ago. Okay, if that's the case, we could just go. We'll go over what's been revealed so far. Okay, there we go. Just had to get that all set. What we learned at Midnight Reveal developer panel at Gamescom 2025. Here's what we've learned from so we're just going to read this article from Wowhead, because actually I'm probably going to refresh it just to make sure there's probably some additional information on here that might have been added. That usually happens when it comes to Wowhead articles. So the table of contents. Midnight Reveal developer panel. Here's a quick summary of what we learned from the panel based on social media from various content creators. Make sure to check out these creators who are live tweeting the panel. Alrighty, first, so we have the new Amani troll models. They look pretty nice. I know people have been complaining. It's like, oh, because of course they are. The main troll models don't look this good. But it's like, come on, forest trolls are built different. They always have been. And then next we have Terralion, Illyria, and Erator. He's the one with the new model. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of the hair. The book cover gave him some more hair compared to his actual model. And we have some new characters and another returning character. So Zuljara and Zul'jin Zul'jan are the grandchildren of Zul'jin. Last time we've seen that motherfucker Zul'jin was in Revendreth in the Shadowlands. A nice little Easter egg right there. And then I'm a really big fan of how Magister Umbrick looks here. No doubt, D. Bradley Baker is gonna put on another damn good performance. If you don't know who D. Bradley Baker is, he's the guy who voices Klaus in American Dad and like a million characters in SpongeBob. He's actually quite the prolific voice actor. And then we have a new sketch of Xalatath. Like, she's not getting a new model, which makes sense. She got one in War Within. They're not going to make a new one. And also, people actually really like that look. Aside from, you know, the feet, which, though those sick freaks got what they wanted and more shots of Xalatath's feet. We have a comparison between, you know, the void and the light. No doubt there's some stuff that I'm missing because you know, there's not the accompanying audio. And then we have the Haranir. We have the Haranir customization. And from Taliesin and Evitel, I don't really like those guys much these days. Haranir customizations looking beautiful. Pangolin Druid form confirmed. So no doubt if Randy Marsh were to start playing the game, he'd probably get a hard on. And then some new art for Silvermoon City was shown off. Seems like what Taliesin is saying. There's a small sanctuary open to the Alliance. It is a horde city, even though it's our base of operations. It's still nice to know that its majority, you know, the majority of it is still a horde city. New Silvermoon City looks incredible. I wonder where the portal, what the portal is gonna be. Surely it's not gonna be Silvermoon City for the Alliance, and there's already a Silvermoon City portal for the Horde. The Void is being described as having its own culture and hierarchy. Everything here is hungry. Everything will eat you. Okay, so let's see. We have just the regular human. The human is just for scale. There's Xalatath, there's an ethereal, there's a void blob, and a whole bunch of void aberrations. That looks really cool. I'm glad some of those models are being updated. There are 10 new Delves in Midnight with Valera Sanguinar as the Delve companion and a new Nemesis boss in Season 1. So yeah, it was that big void guy from earlier. He's the Nemesis. So I'm looking forward. I can't wait to see how they're gonna make that fight, or how that fight looks. So that looks cool. No doubt Valera might be getting a new model because of her importance in the story. Okay. There are 8 new dungeons in Midnight, 4 level up dungeons, 4 max level dungeons. M0s appear to be opening ahead of Season 1 launch again. So that was a nice feature from War Within that they implemented recently, that you could actually do Mythic Zeros before the season starts just to kind of get you up on gear. Similar to previous launches, there will be 4 new dungeons and 4 returning dungeons in Season 1. And so, man, now that I know that, you know, okay, so let me kind of back myself up here. So, War Within added Shadowlands dungeons. I know Dragonflight, initially it was just, Warlords of Draenor to Mists of Pandaria to Legion, and then in Season 2 they decided to add some Cataclysm dungeons in there. Also in Dragonflight they also added Battle for Azeroth dungeons, and then in War Within they decided to add Shadowlands dungeons, which those have always been really good. And if I have to run Dragonflight dungeons without some serious fucking changes, I'm not gonna enjoy doing keys in Midnight, now am I? Let's see. So next, this is the stuff for the panel on Saturday. So I'm not going to be streaming the Saturday stuff. I just want to talk more about, the story, the lore, player housing. Demon Hunters and the Void. So that's all about the Devourer specialization, which I'm really intrigued to see what that's all about. We got a bit of a teaser for how it's gonna play in Manaforge Omega with the Soul Hunters fight, but because it's a raid, the mechanics are gonna work differently. New talents, that also intrigues me. How are they gonna expand on the talent system? Are they going to actually roll back some of the talents? Because I know some people were complaining, and I actually do get their complaints of just like, I want to push execute, and I want it to do damage. I don't want a million different modifiers on execute just so it could deal damage. So I hope they actually kind of roll back some of the passives. Like, I don't think so many passive abilities need to be in the talent tree. I think there should probably be... I think, more buttons are in order, but that's just me. Even though for my Protection Warrior, my action bar, all my action bars are full. I literally have no room to put my trinkets in. That's the kind of gameplay I like. Even though I main a Blood Death Knight. Prey and world content. Delves kind of count as world content. I'm interested in seeing how the Prey system works. Leveling experience is fine. PvP, don't care. And quality of life updates. I wonder what those are gonna be. So there's that. And then also, I wonder if we're gonna get the dungeon rotation for Season 1 of Midnight. So I just want the Brain Dead Warrior action to be I get the enemy to a threshold and mash a button to finish them. I like how many buttons Protection Warrior has, personally. But that's just me. But yeah, Execute Warrior is very much an Execute class. They kind of need to be an Execute class, not just, then again, they're still really good right now. But one of their specialties is Execute. I mean, that's one of their abilities. It's called Execute. That's the name of where the name of the archetype comes from. Alrighty. That little intermission done. I had played... yeah, that's Fury Warrior. And let's get back to... So let's get back to the video thing here. Okay. Damn, I'm thirsty today. So we have a video from longtime WoW player, Manny Fuchsia, and it's all about the player housing system, so let's watch.
I just logged in, I haven't done anything. Oh my god, it's a whole house. Oh my god, it's a whole house, look at this. Alright, so let's figure this out. We're gonna be competing to see who makes the best house. Okay, so we're here. Okay, this is cool. We got paintings. Okay, edit house. Okay.
Okay.
I see paintings. Aspects of the clouds. Guys.
Oh, okay, so that's how the paintings work. You can place it fucking like anywhere.
Anywhere. That's crazy. There's no snapping. I can just, and it's so easy to use.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
This might not seem like a lot to like you guys, but it is to me. it really is to me. I was so worried that this would just be a fucking nightmare. Even though Blizzard was like, oh, this is actually simple. It's a pretty simple system. I didn't know how simple it would be. Okay, I didn't know how simple it would be. This is really nice. I'd really be able to make something cool with this. The comedy of having a guy swing two comically large axes. I play Fallout 76, so it kind of does matter. I see. I didn't know there was. Wait, people actually still play Fallout 76? What?
That's incredible. Although I don't want this painting here. Remove decor. Okay, we're good. Let's see what else we have. We have furnishing. I could remove things too? Let's see. Oh. Okay, okay. Wait, this area looks different. Oh, there's stairs? Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
Oh, this is a mansion!
We get to build our own McMansions, guys! I could finally be Shekel McGoystein in World of Warcraft! Hey, Goy, you better be working on my house here. How else am I... Oh, oy vey, Goy, where else am I gonna put my 8th yacht?
This is crazy! Let's see what else we have. Where's my building mode? Wait, where'd it go? Oh, here. J. Was it J? No, there's no bind. Okay, can we look at all this?
Oh shit, there's key bindings as well that I have to take into consideration.
See what we can work with? Yes, that's a great idea. Okay, so we have, alright, let's see. We have abandoned bookcase. And note, oh my god, it's got spider web. Note, collision invalid. Okay. There we go.
And keep in mind, you could also size these items down too. I remember there being like a Blue Post blog about that.
Note that there's a number of how many you guys have, because that's something that they talked about too. Let's say you want 4 of the same chair. That means
You
you
could
have
do
to build
building
4
and
of the same chair.
customizing poorly,
We have the
like
Alliance
Fallout 4 or like
bed.
Fallout 76.
There we go. We have a stool. Little, how do you turn it around? Scrolling, okay? That's...
Okay. Okay, that's... So, let's actually take a look at these bindings here. So, you know, you move things around, you press left mouse to place the decor, R to remove it, and scroll to rotate it, and you can toggle the grid, which that's also nice.
Honestly, you know when you try something and like you just guess what the bind is and it's right? That's when you know it's perfect. I was like, scrolling makes sense. And then it just worked. Super smooth. We have, okay. Ancient Elven high back chair. Alright. Oh, it's fancy. Black rock bunk bed. Oh my god. It's massive. I don't think that's fitting here though. Snappy say you can't play stuff is not advanced mode? So wait, is this advanced mode or this is not advanced mode? In advanced you can also make stuff bigger or smaller. Oh my god, guys, there's so many things! Oh, this is advanced.
You can make a house like that where you just place a bunch of assets into a room and it just go crazy like that. This is really cool, guys. Like, I know this seems... I'm just geeking out right now. I find stuff like this to be really cool. Like, Blizzard is knocking this out of the park. I'm so happy that they have. What's that over there?
Oh my god.
Oh,
this means that you can like literally you can make things go into walls and stuff.
yeah, you can put stuff into walls if like I think this is advanced mode that she's using. You could do building and customizing. Oh wait, I already read that.
I see.
I don't know why
okay.
I thought there was a new message.
I kind of prefer the normal mode because I'm gonna accidentally make things fly that I didn't mean to make them fly. So I think the decorate mode. Honestly, okay. The advanced.
Yeah, the advanced mode also lets you size stuff down.
It's insane because
and
it allows
some
you to...
oh, look at this 3 and 4. 3 is to change the color of stuff. Yes, you can change the color of some of the furniture you get.
Go through walls and stuff like that. You can design things in that way, which is really cool. But I think I like the decorate mode because even the decorate mode is very free, which is a good thing to point out because normally when you have different type of games where you're designing things, the automatic mode or whatever snaps really harshly. This one is like no snapping at all. It's really smooth. Like that's awesome.
Man, the fact that there's no snapping, that is such a huge boon to this system. It acknowledges collision in the decorate mode, but man, oh man, the fact that there's no snapping, it's like, oh man, that's so nice. That's just so nice.
Oh my god, you know what I should do, guys? I should make an upside down house. Are you ready? Actually, I don't know if it's possible. Maybe it's not. Customize mode. Wood.
Oh
my god.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Cool, look at that. That is crazy.
Wow. So my thing, I guess my only concern with the paint mode or whatnot, it's like, do you have to? I hope you don't have to unlock all these colors.
Okay. Then we have large tables, Orgrimmar chair, but we don't want horde stuff. Okay, guys. I'm gonna make my streaming room if I was streaming in WoW. Okay, you ready? General slot. We need to make it a pink chair, of course. Maybe red, actually. Ooh, red is nice. Advanced
Horde
mode, maybe
red.
here. Scale.
Ah, there it is.
Oh my.
There's the sizing feature. So it seems like in advanced mode, there's a few tabs. You could move shit around into walls, rotation, and scale. Ooh.
God, this is perfect.
Ooh.
Okay. There we go.
Yay, I can make my chairs as tiny as I want because I play a mecha gnome. Or as big as I want because I play a mecha gnome.
Okay. And then we go out of this menu. And then we move it. There we go. So this is our little library now. And then make this bigger. There we go. Rotate. Okay, wait. Oh my God, let's make oh, we have to use advanced for that, I think. Okay, there we go.
What the fuck?
We have a little table as well.
What the fuck?
Which table should we go for? Let's go for
it's all upside down.
Raw bed. Oh my god. Everything starts off so small. Whoa. How do we reset it? Can I reset it? Reset. Shift click. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna make it bigger, and then I need to rotate it. But before I rotate it, actually I'm gonna rotate it this way. And then this setting, and make it upside down.
What the fuck?
And then we'll go like this.
Wow. What the fuck?
There we go. Keldore desk.
Huh.
Guys, we're doing the desk here. This is perfect. There we go. Okay, we'll go with that. Let's check out lighting, as you guys were talking about.
Okay, let's skip around here.
Is that in the housing chat? So that's gonna be a first theme, so you can already start thinking about what.
An alliance
are
themed
we
house. Wow.
Let's go for here. Okay. Maybe another one here. Anything else?
It's a Pandaren themed room.
Let's go back there. Alright. These
okay,
are...
so it seems, judging from this, it's like, I know the Alliance and the Horde House, wow, the upside down room. Ah, that's funny. I know that, from some of the rooms that I've seen, they look really thematic. I believe you could also change the interior to make it look a bit more, thematic to your character's race or whatnot. I think that's a thing.
Are great.
Oh yeah, we're gonna skip around here.
Alright, let's...
Damn! Okay.
Alright. What do you think? I think it's pretty...
That's a nice looking Pandaren themed room right there. But man, holy shit, guys! I am really impressed with what I see here. It's simple. It's easy to use. All my fears about housing are just like dashed away. Though I wish one thing we did get to see was exterior customization. But I think what was more important is the interior one. I I wanted to see how that all looked. How you actually got to build shit with this. I'm really impressed with what I see, and I'm going to be messing around in my building my house for a long time. And keep in mind, something else I remember Blizzard saying as well is that this is not just for midnight. This is for this is just gonna be going forward. Like just the player housing is gonna be going forward. So I'm really, really excited for what's gonna be coming with player housing.
Good. I think it's decent.
Right now I'm definitely not done. I am definitely not done streaming. But I will take a look to see if the panel is actually up. Oh baby! Yes! Yes, 4 minutes ago the show is saved, motherfuckers. The show is saved. We have the World of Midnight developer panel.
Hazacostas, Aunt Marie Hamilton for the World of Midnight. Give it up!
Tatted whore. Gross.
Guten Tag und herzlich willkommen. Thank you, Gamescom.
Oh, he's speaking German. Hey, the guy wearing an Alliance
Thank you for
hat.
coming out for this panel where we're going to talk about the world of Midnight. The story, the zones, the cultures, and the places that you'll go.
Why the fuck is there an old woman here?
I'm Ian Hazacostas, game director on WoW.
Hi, I'm Maria Hamilton, Associate Design Director on WoW. I'm super happy to be here.
Why is there a femoid here?
And so today we're going to talk about story, cultures, delves, dungeons, and raids. So let me just kick things off with a quick recap of the stories so far. What brought us here?
What brought us?
So we began...
Oh, this is why it took so long. It's all the editing and shit that they had to do. That's why.
Soul Saga, around a year ago, and began telling the largest, most ambitious story we've ever tried to tell in World of Warcraft. It all began with whispers, visions that the champions of Azeroth were beginning to experience that ultimately led Thrall and Anduin, among others, to, a certain sword in a certain place.
Yeah, the fucking giant sword in Silithus. We all know.
We investigated, we tracked those visions down, and ultimately they led us to the mysterious land of Khazalgar, where we deployed the floating city of Dalaran, and that didn't go so well. We were in fact ambushed by Xal'atath and her Nerubian allies, where Xal'atath wielded the Dark Heart artifact to drain the power of Dalaran, capturing Khadgar as well, and destroying the city. Over the course of our adventures, Xal'atath thwarted us several times, but Ilaria was able to ultimately perceive the power and the importance of the Dark Heart. She struck out at it, damaging it.
They're just providing a bit of a summary for the story so far.
Severely disrupted
Xal'atath's for you guys who don't play,
as well as freeing
I guess
Khadgar.
repetitive to me, but
wounded,
not
but
to you
Anduin
guys,
was
because I know
able
most of
to
y'all
step
don't play
in
WoW.
and save him. But that disruption led Xal'atath to seek out the aid of one Gallywix. Now the Dark Heart...
Hey, oy vey, Xal'atath! Of course I have the Dark Heart for you. I'm your greatest ally after all. It's me, Jastor Gallywix, oy vey! Oy vey! Honestly, if there was one word if there's one word to describe Gallywix, it would be Jew.
Incredibly powerful artifact, originally crafted by Neltharion with the aid of the goblins. So who better than some goblins to repair the damage? But she should have found some more trustworthy goblins, because Gallywix, of course, had a plan of his own. And the Dark Heart ended up falling into the hands of Shadowguard Ethereals, who...
That was actually not part of Gallywix's plan. To give it to the Ethereals.
To use it to bring back the Void Lord Demencius. A threat so great that it even forced Xal'atath to set aside her goals and work with us for a time to stop his rise and the inevitable devouring of all worlds. Now, we have defeated Demencius, at least on Story mode, raid finder, normal, and heroic. I think
story. I did story mode. I did. I'm not much of a raider these days.
Echo is
so.
actually working on Mythic around 25 minutes from here right now. So is Method and Liquid. But would you believe that upon Dimensius' defeat, Xelatath was not, as it turns out, on our side? And so she claimed the power of the Void Lord Dimensius, ascended to become one of the most powerful beings the cosmos has ever known. And now, as we move into midnight, she is set to launch an assault that will plunge our world into darkness, that will extinguish all light unless we stand against it.
All right, well, let's start off talking about our heroes and our foes. So starting off, we've got Turalian, Erator, and Ilaria.
Oh,
gameplay!
gameplay!
Ilaria's journey for a bit here. We know about her feelings about Xalatath, and she was right all along. We also have Turalian, her husband, who will be an important part of Midnight as a representative of the light. So at the very end of the cinematic there, when we see the light coming in response to Liadrin's prayer, the Army of Light has arrived.
Oh, okay, it was the Army of the Light, so it's just a bunch of Draenei. That's actually really cool. It's a bunch of Draenei.
And so have the players. We also will be called by the Light
humans
to come and join that battle. Erator, of course, is their child. He also is a paladin, and he is very supportive and understanding of both of his parents. He's trying to understand the void influences that Ilaria is dealing with, as well as the strong call to light that his father has. So he's a little bit in the middle of the two. So they are very important to our story. And of course we have Xalatath. Couldn't go very far without Xalatath, our very cool villain. She seems to do whatever she needs to do to achieve whatever her goal is. She's now stated what her goal is. She's gonna wipe us off the planet. She's gonna take Azeroth. She's gonna take all the power for herself and bring down Midnight. So looking forward to seeing what's happening with Xalatath. Wasn't really expecting the Army of Light to show up there, as you could tell. She seemed a little surprised, but she's got plenty of forces and she's very powerful at this point. We also have Liadrin. She is she's the Blood Knight matriarch. She's
I wonder if I think they're giving Liadrin a new model from what I see.
Obviously a very powerful paladin. She's the one who has called upon the light to come and save the day. And she is going to be very important to our efforts to push back the void. She does not have a strong liking for the Amani trolls, and that will become important. We have Orwena, who we met back in the War Within.
I was wondering what was going to happen to Orwena.
Not a lot. And as you probably know, we'll be going and seeing more about their culture and their race. Orwena is going to have an opportunity to teach us about her people and what they care about, what their interests are, their culture, and
honestly, tell us more about the Haranir. Not gonna lie, I want to know more about them too. Like, and where's their homeland?
She's one of the youngest of her race, actually. She is not an elder. There are elder Haranir, much more knowledgeable and wise. She follows the voice of her goddess, and that has taken her into places that we have.
Yeah, the voice of her goddess is the goddess in question is Azeroth.
Been able to.
We've seen that in the cinematic. They worship Azeroth.
And the Void Elves. This is an opportunity for the Void Elves to really come into their own.
Finally,
been banished essentially from Silverman.
My secondary character that I play the most is a Void Elf monk. And wouldn't you know, I'm certainly going to be playing him during midnight, in midnight.
And their kin, essentially, because of the void taint that they feel that they have. Umbrink is obviously trying to pull his people together, and he has a lot to contribute to our efforts to face off against the void.
That's how it looks in motion.
We have Zuljara and Zul'Jan, grandchildren of Zul'Jin. Zuljara is the chieftain of the Amani. Zul'Jan is her greatest advisor and brother. They are going to be giving us an opportunity to experience the Amani culture, not as enemies.
Why couldn't the male be the leader of the Amani? It had to be a woman, really? Really?
Time, but as
women
sort
aren't
of
meant to be
friends.
leaders.
They too are having slight void problems, and they need some assistance. Needless to say, the Blood Elves are uninspired by that request, as they aren't on best of terms. And then we have the Void and the Light, arguably the biggest conflict here between two forces. The Void we have been fighting against, the Light we have been fighting with. But you know, extremes of either are problematic, as you might imagine. So there will be some issues between the two, and also issues between people that are Void-based, like Void Elves, and the Army of the Light Paladins, for example. So that's another
Could just say the Light Swords
contrast to watch during midnight. And now let's look at the really pretty pictures. Go into the culture and zones.
Okay.
So our first
Let's
culture
talk
to
about
talk
the
about is
zones.
Blood Elves. Those of you that don't play Horde.
Oh, looks like the on top of getting heritage armor, they're getting Blood Elves are getting some really good looking cosmetics.
May not know a lot about the Blood Elves. This is your opportunity to rectify that. They were High Elves before adopting the name Sindorai to represent and reflect upon the death of so many of their own. The Scourge, you know, did a terrible
okay.
number on their,
We're getting
their,
more
home
gameplay
area in
too.
Eversong and Ghostlands, and they have been recovering.
Wow,
ever
Silver
since.
Moon got
Their,
what it really
need
needed.
for power, their need for energy and magical strength is well known. They are very, very tied to the Sunwell, which is, of course, exactly what Xalatath is going after.
Yeah, I know.
Here's some pre-alpha footage for you that we just captured a couple.
Pre-alpha, and it already looks amazing. Holy shit. Again, the art team always knocks it out of the park. Every single time.
Weeks ago. Want to point out that there's not a lot of creatures spawned yet because, as I said, we're pre-alpha. But it's looking really good. It's exactly like what you might expect from Eversong.
Completely glossed over the fact that they also tied their names to Blood Elves. They were feeding on Fell Blood to feed their mana addiction. That too.
Eversong and Ghostlands have been combined into a single zone, Quel'Thalas. Because it's a relatively small zone. They were small zones back in Classic, and now with Skyriding, we want it to feel fun to move through them. But as you can see, you know, it's the usual sorts of architecture that you would expect, the lofty, glistening...
The Ghostlands! That's a zone name I haven't heard of in a long time.
Towers.
That's honestly interesting that, you know, you could actually kind of see the Blood Elf decorations and the High Elf decorations. The High Elf decorations being the blue ones, and the Blood Elf ones being the red ones. Hi, Night Llama, long time no see. I worked at Blizzard, you know. Pirate software. That's a good... I got a response to you, Mr. Pirate Software.
Hogwash.
The amazing foliage and manicured gardens. And
damn,
there are,
that's a nice skybox.
Things that have healed. The Dead Scar in particular has totally healed and is no...
Wow, pass it finally.
Longer there. Not all parts of the zone, however, have healed up. There are still some areas that look a little...
That's something... Okay, that's actually something I noticed. It seems like they're bringing back the Twilight's Hammer. I saw it in the Zulaman zone, and it seems like it's here. They're here too, and they're going under. They're going under Xalatath's banner.
A little bit iffy, this being one of them. So yeah. Essentially, it's the same place you're used to. If you're a Blood Elf, if not, here's your opportunity to check it out. Check out the zone. Reimagining it was super fun for us. Artists had a...
But I wonder what's going to happen to the old version of the zone. Because I know right now, Blood Elf players, they leveled through Eversong, you know, that small section in Eversong Woods, I forget the name of. They also leveled through, I know that they also leveled through Quel'Thalas and also the Ghostlands. So what's going to happen? The first second-generation employee, not a big deal or anything.
Great time. Had the opportunity to make it just a little bit bigger, a little bit better. and increase
Yeah, I
the
know
fidelity of the zone.
pirate software
Hope you'll
worked
enjoy
at
it.
Blizzard. It's just you
We're going to
couldn't
move
do
on
much.
now. And this is Silver Moon City. It is enormous. I would say that because it's a hub city, there's a small section of Silver.
And you could actually fly in it now. But before you could not fly through Silver Moon City. There's a reason why you couldn't, because it was unfinished. Now it's finally finished, so you can fly through it.
That's been set aside as a sanctuary area where Horde and Alliance share that space. But the majority of the city is Horde, and Alliance is
Yeah,
still
you can see
outside,
the
as you would
Horde
expect.
logo
Essentially,
everywhere.
our world building team had a wonderful time. It's all new assets. The city walls are all brand new, all to top fidelity. Everything has been remade. We've got places you'll recognize.
Damn!
That feel real nostalgia if you've had any experience here.
Silver
We have
Moon just
Murder
looks
Row,
better and
Murder's Row,
better.
which you're going to see a dungeon related to that as well.
Damn!
But overall, it's the same glorious, wonderful Silver Moon you love, but with much, much better, much more recent fidelity art. And once this stuff gets filled in with our spawning, it's going to look amazing. And yeah, there's a little
hot damn,
void storm
dude!
problem going
I
on.
can't wait to see how populated it's gonna
Let's
be.
talk about the Amani, because they're the next culture we're
Damn!
going to talk about. They were previously enemies. If you happen to be around and played the raid in Zulaman, then you're familiar with the Amani and
Troll players
sort
are
of
seething right
their
now.
Culture. We've had an opportunity to expand them because we created an entire zone for them now. They are very proud people. They worked very hard to
Who
get
you
their
want me
land.
killed?
They had some important work to do. The Zandalari basically said, well, you can have that land if you defeat this, giant, evil, horrible thing. And so they did that. And they were a great empire for a period of time.
I wonder, knowing that the Zandalari are part of the Horde, what does that imply?
But they've fallen
I
sort
wonder.
of into a lesser status now. They've sort of lost their touch with the Loa. They're not
Blizzard, right now, Blizzard they're just telling me.
Fine, I'll feed you guys.
as close to them.
Yeah, I am being fed good right
being
now.
right on the border and having a lot of conflict with the Blood Elves makes this
Player
a
housing,
little
this
tricky
whole
for them.
thing.
They too are having some void problems.
It seems like now that Chris Metzen is actually back in the fold, I mean, he has been in for a while, let's be real. Seems like they're definitely starting to take into consideration some of his notes.
This is Zulaman. We've built the entire
Ooh.
zone out.
Ooh.
You will see the raid space. It still exists. Those of you that did that raid will recognize those buildings, I expect. This is a very old forest, very tall mountains. It's temperate.
Ooh.
It rains a fair bit.
Man,
it's
that
got
looks so good.
eagle, lynx, Janalai. It's got dragonhawk, bear, Loa, temples still, but the Amani.
Okay,
haven't
that's where
been,
that dungeon location
really
is.
Worshiping the Loa for a long time. A lot of stuff is overgrown and abandoned, and Zuljara is going to need to find a way to help her people survive the void onslaught that is coming for them. As you can see where the void has come in, it's not looking quite so good. And let's
Still
move on to
looks
the Heronir.
Good.
So we met the Heronir.
Damn, okay. So yeah, the Heronir are like a hybrid of like night elf, troll, and bat. So these guys didn't look all that spectacular in War Within, so I'm glad that they've kind of given them more things to just, look, so that way they look better and can actually be a playable race, which they are. They are an allied race that's coming to Midnight, and they can be druids, which I'm really happy about.
Early on in the War Within, but we weren't really sure what they were about. We didn't know their story, and we didn't know their connection really to the rest of the world. We'd never seen them before. They're ancient guardians of the Rootways, and they're led actually by a council of elders. They have a...
Oh! Okay. Scurvy's brain is actually starting to think of something. I know in the zone of Aj-Kahet, that's in the current expansion. I wonder if that's how you get into Harandar. Is flying through that, and then you get teleported to Harandar. Damn, that would be cool.
A very direct connection with their goddess, and Orwena.
And that goddess is Azeroth.
Direct connection, in fact, with the goddess, which led her to leave her people and go out into the outside world, something that they don't tend to do, and they don't really look kindly upon. So, as you probably have heard, they are unlocked as an allied race. You'll be able to make your very own Haranir.
Look at those customizations. Damn, especially the males. Honestly, I'm not all that. So the female ones are all right, but the male ones, holy shit, you could go all out with that. Besides, Scurvy only plays male characters.
So
I'm glad I'm gonna be having a lot of stuff to work with in terms of the customization.
Great customizations for them.
I'm going to make mine very,
awesome.
very quilly.
I have to say, I've seen the druid forms. We weren't able to show those yet. They are really awesome. One of them is a pangolin, which just looks amazing.
Randy Marsh is going to enjoy the pangolin form a bit too much, huh?
They are prone to wearing this bioluminescent paint, and they have different kinds of patterns they can put on their faces and chests. So really cool looking, really awesome. Not really elves, not really trolls. Those of you that have kind of seen them previously, played in the War Within, know that they take a bat form when they want to travel. So that's the Haranir and their customizations. And this is the zone, Harandar. It is a fungal jungle place, and it has
I've been waiting to see this.
All of the roots of the world trees.
Honestly, my theory on the Haranir is that they're actually a progenitor race for the Dark Trolls. That's my theory, because it was before the Haranir, it was Dark Trolls. They evolved into Night Elves because the Well of Eternity. So maybe the Haranir are like a stage before they became the Dark Trolls.
All converge here, all are twisted up in this area, this pocket area, which isn't really directly connected to anything. The people, the Haranir travel through the routeways themselves, so they're able to move around the world. One of the interesting things about this zone is it has a place called the Rift of Ulm. And
I know what that is. That's that was in the Emerald Nightmare.
The Rift of Ulm will issue forth creatures that their goddess dreams. And sometimes they are horrific and horrible things. And some members of the Haranir take an oath, give up their connection to the goddess, and serve as wardens of that place, preventing those horrible creatures from attacking. They also have this place called the Den of Echoes, which we're looking at now. This is where the Haranir remember their past through paintings, and you will have an opportunity to learn some of those stories by interacting with those paintings.
That's cool.
And let's talk a little bit about the Void, since we also have that as a...
Yeah, we saw that image earlier. This blue guy right here, that's the Delph Nemesis. I'm excited to find that guy.
Culture. You can see people you recognize on one side, and people you probably recognize less on the other side. Void creatures in general are very predatory. They are interested in eating anything smaller.
I was like, there's a blob and
taking its
Shaw
power. The Dominar, which are sort of the strongest, are a bit different. They are very, very intelligent, very smart. And the Dominar actually have a bit of a hierarchy that they've developed, again, through conquest, through beating on and
no doubt Void Lords are the strongest, because, Demencius.
Dominating others. And you will deal with Dominar as one of the stronger representatives of the Void. Of course, Xalatath is part of this group. Cultists who follow Xalatath and follow the Void. We've already seen the Shadow Guard as well. There's even cute little ones, but they will try to eat you, so...
Not just that. Hierarchy. yeah, hierarchy. One of my favorite words, hierarchy. It's like, I'm surprised, you know, I thought the Void was always a bit more egalitarian, but I guess not, which makes it more based.
So don't think that they're all that cute. And this is Voidstorm. This is a mysterious world that has been formed by the Void. Everything here is hungry. Everything will eat you given opportunity. This is all about gaining power, becoming stronger, becoming more powerful, and eating the next thing. So
they have an order of leadership. Yep.
We have a big raid here in Voidstorm. This is where we will face off against the Void with the Army of Light and attempt to make sense of what's going on here. But there are some gorgeous pictures. I would say the best blues and purples ever, probably. Happening right here.
Yeah, with some red too.
Here, but generally speaking, a really, really cool zone to explore. And you can...
It's that cosmic void. It's not like old god void. It's like cosmic void. That's what makes it look so cool.
Be pretty sure that they're enemies.
If you guys couldn't tell, Scurvy gets easily impressed by things, so it doesn't take that much, and I think that's an admirable trait that I have. What type of hungry are we talking?
All of them.
They're definitely not hungry for dick, that's for sure.
Yes, kid.
All right, and I'm going to hand off to Ian for delves, dungeons, and raids. Thanks, all.
Thank you, Maria. Yeah, all those amazing zones.
Oh, he's balding. Ian has a coast. This is balding.
Delves, dungeons, and raids. So really, delves are one of our proudest additions to War Within.
My favorite edition, if you ask me. I love delves.
And they are, of course, here to stay. And so you have
Based,
10 new delves coming with Midnight, scattered across these zones. I think we've learned a lot of lessons. We've taken feedback on what worked and what didn't. And so these are going to have all the same layers of variety and replayability that you knew in the War Within.
But Torment's Rise, that's the season 1 nemesis. I'm so excited to
more
fight
layouts,
him.
more enemies that we found work better in this format, and less of those that don't. A couple of these delves are actually going to be outdoor spaces where you can use your ground mounts to get around more easily. And we're really happy to be able to integrate.
And I know people are like, oh, but that doesn't make them delves. But no, they're called delves. They're called delves because, well, yeah, you're delving somewhere. It doesn't mean it has to be underground.
Integrate them into the stories of the zones, because now that they're such a proven format, we can really have quests lead you through them more regularly.
Good.
Now, of course, in addition to these 10 delves, there is an 11th Nemesis delve, where you will track down the Nemesis that has been plaguing you over the course of the first season. And taking the place of Bran Bronzebeard will be a new companion, none other
they did give Valera a new model. That's awesome.
Than our good friend Valera Sanguinar. Now, she will aid you in many of the same ways as Bran, and hopefully stand in fewer things that you'd prefer she not stand in.
I fucking hope that's the case, because when I was, yesterday when I was killing question mark difficulty Kaiveza, Bran was just standing in shit that he really shouldn't have been.
So, dungeons. We have 8 new dungeons coming in Midnight. 4 level up, 4 max level. And again, these, we always try to showcase fun gameplay and innovative looks at the dungeon format. We'll be returning to Magister's Terrace, which has really been reimagined and expanded from last we saw it. We'll visit some new locations that weren't accessible before, including a balcony overlooking the Sunwell itself. When we go to Murder Row, a corner of Silvermoon, I think for Court of Stars fans back from Legion, there are some of those vibes here, as we're actually going in undercover to investigate rumors of the use of fell magic within the walls of Silvermoon. And before we know it, we're going to be plunged into combat, and the dungeon will unfold from there.
Honestly, that sounds pretty interesting. I'm going to make some predictions here on which dungeons are going to be in Season 1. I think Windrunner Spire, it is just the 4 new ones. Windrunner Spire, Murder Row, Mysara Caverns, and probably Nexus Point Zenith.
Our favorite is the Void Scar Arena.
I mean, you better
in the Void Storm.
I mean, you better
here at the whims of one of the Dominar.
I love this motivational speech 3 a.m. background music. I mean, you better grind until 3 a.m. So it kind
Maria
of
was just mentioning, combatants from around the universe come together to kind of battle to the death. For the
Void
pleasure
Scar
of the
Arena.
Dominar.
That
And
also
we're gonna
sounds
be thrown
fun.
into that arena as part of this dungeon. And don't worry, especially in Mythic Plus, as waves come at you, you can control the pace of the waves.
Oh, as again, somebody getting back into keys. Well. Let's just pull the whole fucking room. Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
Of course, we're gonna have a mix of 4 of these dungeons, as well as 4 returning fan favorites in the first season of Midnight. But unlike in War Within, all 8 of these dungeons will be available in Mythic 0 during that pre-season period right at launch.
Okay.
Another fun dungeon that we'll be venturing into is Windrunner Spire, where for those of you particularly lore fans out there, we're going to get to learn more about the family history and the tragic background of the Windrunner family. This is a wing dungeon with plenty of mysteries to uncover.
Hold on.
To also be the Dream Rift, a 1-boss in Haranar. Also be the Dream Rift, a 1-boss.
Ah, looks like the video corrupted a little.
And then shortly after that, we'll be able to take the fight back to the Sunwell and the Gates of Silvermoon.
Oh, that's the
March
Sunwell,
on Keldanos.
baby!
So really excited to have different environments, different settings, and really integrate the raids into the stories that we're telling more than ever before. Because with story mode, all players can experience these epic moments, and we can offer a wider range of environments for guilds to challenge themselves against.
Something else too, I wonder if there's gonna be more, if there's gonna be a lot of raids in Midnight, not just, 1 raid per patch. Maybe we'd be getting 2 raids per patch, but, you know, split up the different bosses. That would be really cool.
So that is a quick look at the world, the setting, and what's coming in Midnight. Thank you, Gamescom.
And then there's also the stuff for Saturday, which I'm not gonna be streaming that one. I just wanted to stream this part of. Yeah, I just wanted to stream this part of the reveals. I'm just gonna go back on here, put myself. Yeah, I look good here. Yeah, I just wanted to go over some of the stuff for you know, what's happening right now in terms of the Midnight expansion, and it all looks really good. I'm so happy with how things are turning out so far. I can't wait to see how things are actually going to look in the alpha. But also tomorrow, I can't wait to see how the Devourer Demon Hunter spec is gonna work. I also can't wait to see just some of the other talent changes they're gonna be making. It's gonna look really good, and also not to mention all the zones and shit. It's like they look amazing. But I will see you guys tomorrow. I think this was a pretty fun. Stream. I hope everything looked really good on your guys' end. After all, this is like my second stream using this new computer that I had. I did a test one for a few friends, like last week, I believe. There's still some things I'm gonna set up. There's still a few things I need to do. Add the rest of the soundbite buttons to the rest of the soundboard. Maybe get some new ones too. There's some that I probably am not going to be bringing back. Others, it's like, yeah, you know. Anyways, I'll catch you guys tomorrow.